Rocking, we're rolling, we're rocking. Heyo, welcome to the Heavy Load podcast. I'm your host, Dylan.
This is the Rated R Superstar, David Collegio.
I'm also your host.
Hey, shut up. Did we ask you? Say please.
Can't do this again.
I'm
gonna put up with this again.
Okay, I give you permission. Introduce yourself.
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay, that's Dan.
That's Diamond Dan Hookfist.
Diamond Dan over there. He's our intern. He's learning he's just learning the ropes a little bit. So, to our audience, we've been listening to your voice, and I just want to say we hear you.
We smell you.
We hug you from behind.
Yeah.
That's like the only funny thing that's ever been in SNL in the past 5 years is that Joe Biden bit.
Really? You watch a lot of SNL though.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I like it. I watch a lot of shit I don't like.
I thought the Bill Burr Mafia bit was fairly funny. Not the most original bit.
Yeah, I was
but
stolen from Matthew.
Yeah.
Just like this entire podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I've never heard of Matthew.
Who?
Who is that?
No, that's more like my bedroom. Oh.
More like my pants right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know what SNL is. I only watch Mad TV.
It's like
Mad TV rocked.
SNL. It's like a type of like S&M. It's a kink.
You guys were just talking about Amazon style. What is that?
It's
really? You don't know?
You weren't there when it was explained to me?
No.
It's like the girl is essentially you lay down and let the girl pretty much do all the work.
Lay down,
that's a much broader thing.
And you let the girl give you free shipping.
Yeah.
Over 2 days.
Yeah, and she works 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 15-hour position.
Yeah, she works. What do they call them? Like the mega shifts or like the ultra shifts where they work like 16 hours overnight.
Shifts.
Yeah. God, I wish that's what it was. But no, it's essentially, David, that's a very loose definition. It's essentially like cowgirl style, but while doing like a squat on your dick.
It's called the Amazon style?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it takes a lot of leg muscle.
I see.
You got to be good at it. And let me tell you, I am great at it.
Being in the girl position.
Yeah.
I don't know, saying you're great at the guy's position is like, I'm so good at just laying there.
You know, that's what I love about sex is when I can just
be immobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always a competition for who can do like the least amount of work in sex, at least in my experience. Like who can just lay there and do nothing the longest. Was now you guys have sex?
No.
It's kind of like when you're a professional at a sport and it's just kind of like comes natural to you. The more you do it, the easier it gets, the less you have to do.
I'll tell you what, I do not come naturally in any sense of the word. But so yeah, anyways, like I was saying, audience, Heavy Load Nation, we hear you.
Nation.
We hear your concerns. Your main concern being that this podcast isn't good and it's not funny. So that's why we've decided to change the podcast name, the entire shtick of it. We're now the Cultural Appropriation Podcast, where every week we appropriate a different culture.
This week it's Amazons.
Yeah, This week it's Amazonians.
Hey, what if cancellation insurance was a thing?
What, like career insurance? Like
there's probably like some guy working for the Daily Wire trying to make that trying to come up with that. Because there are like some like groups that are like genuinely concerned about it. I feel like. Like, did you guys read who's the Mandalorian Gino? Her statement about like they can't cancel us if we don't let them.
Well, Mandalorian, that's the pasta that's like the tubes and you stuff them full of ricotta cheese.
Oh, that sounds fucking good.
Yeah, it's got the blue milk from Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's blue.
Sucked right off the teat.
Yep. That's my favorite scene in any Star Wars movie.
Luke was kind of a weenie for like spraying it into his mouth.
That look on his face after he does it is so fucking funny. He's like smiling, satisfied.
I like The Last Jedi.
I only saw it once. That scene's the scene I think about the most, though.
Yeah, I'm that. As the kids are saying on Twitter right now, that scene lives in my head rent free.
People are saying that?
Yeah.
Right. How do we appropriate Star Wars culture? What's like an alien species we could
You'd be really sexist.
Fly around like Watto.
You harass women online.
Is that what the Gungans do?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if that's what you want to
That's
call
why
them.
Jar Jar is not in any of the other
okay.
episodes.
It's kind of like second degree appropriation because like every race in Star Wars is already appropriating like a different culture.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Well, no, it was many years ago in a galaxy far away. So if anything, we're appropriating them.
okay. Kind of goes to show things haven't changed all that much over time.
Why do they cancel culture in Star Wars? Han, old buddy, I saw your tweets. You're not coming into Sky City anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah,
You were like a brother to me.
the Twi'lek, they're kind of like the sex positive race because unanimously Twi'lek women are exotic dancers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any other position for a Twi'lek woman.
Occupation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I know any of the races from Star
Those
Wars.
are the ones.
Yeah, what are you, some kind of
two
nerd? You don't know
tentacles.
Yeah.
Like two. Here, I'm gonna set the mic down for a
The
second.
blue woman.
They got like the two. They're the dancers in Jabba's palace. They got the two
Yeah.
like, tentacle.
Okay.
Well, I guess there's the one in the prequels
That's a
who
Jedi.
dies. Yeah, she's a Jedi.
Um,
And in one of the Knights of the Old Republic games, there's one also.
there's actually. Okay, so Twi'lek culture is actually. I'm not gonna get into it here. Just watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I haven't seen it.
I know that's why I told you to
The
watch.
show.
It.
Oh, okay.
The show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I watched it. That's like it was like 5-minute episodes, right?
No, not that one. That's just Star Wars: Clone Wars.
That's what you said to watch.
No, I said to watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's a different series.
Okay, well, I'm going to be editing this and I can wind it back and see what you really said.
Just watch Star Wars: Clone Wars. Star Wars: Clone Wars, which I have both volumes of on DVD right up there. Those are the Samurai Jack ones. The guy who did Samurai Jack did those. Those ones are good, but those aren't canon anymore. Then there's the 3D animated one.
Okay.
That's the
Right.
Clone Wars.
Is that tied into the movie that no one really talks? That one Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is an official Star Wars movie, I believe.
Yep. And actually, it wasn't supposed to be. So the thing with that, so the entire series kicks off with that movie, and then that's just the beginning of the series. The movie is the absolute worst part of that entire series, and then the first season's pretty bad for the most part. Second season gets better. That movie is just the first 4 episodes of the series kind of combined to make a movie, because George Lucas had complete control of that, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna make a show, a Star Wars show, and it's gonna be a prequel show, and Anakin's gonna have a hot teenage Padawan, and it's gonna be a 3D animated television show. Okay, George, you got it. We're on it. Actually, I know we're already pretty much done with the first season. I actually want to make a movie instead. So let's why don't we just take the first plot line of the first few episodes. Let's combine that all. Just make that a movie instead of an episodic television series. George, it's not really how it was written. It was written to be an episodic television. We're gonna make that a movie. It's gonna get a theatrical release. You have 2 weeks.
I mean, he's one of the kind of guys who like sounds exactly the same, even when he's furious, as when he's really happy.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jar Jar's not sexy enough.
Jar Jar is
What happened to the thick Jar Jar I drew for you guys?
okay. So I in my notes I had Jar Jar as having
Triple D breast.
What are you doing?
Huh? Well,
Protestant or something?
yeah, just like non.
But you're Buddhist now.
Yeah. No, my family is mostly just non-denominational. I think my southern family are Baptist.
Oh yeah.
And my like deep Midwestern family are
Emo.
Emo.
close evangelical.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, the apocalypse is coming any day.
That's gonna be such an exciting way to live.
There is
Yeah.
one, yeah, really living on the fucking edge. The world is gonna go up in flames any fucking day.
Dun, dun, dun. They play that in the church. This Terminator Judgment Day theme.
No, so it's a really small church that my family goes to out there. They live like out in buttfuck nowhere, Wisconsin, and like as a kid, we would go to church with them when we'd go out to visit. On Sunday, we'd be out there. We'd go to church with them in the morning. I remember literally getting stuck in traffic behind a horse and buggy, and these people were going to the same place we were. There's a couple like Mennonite and like Amish folks that would go to that church, and my uncle is like the head of like the church like band and like all the music stuff. So he's like a pretty high up guy in this church, and the head pastor's daughter, this is a few years ago, she was like 19 or 20, and her boyfriend was a few like 22 or 23, so they were pretty like late teens, early 20s, both adults. And they asked my uncle to come in for an intervention that they were going to hold for them because they were caught front face hugging.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. And
as opposed to like a side hug.
Oh my god.
Because like if you're facing each other hugging, then your genitals are facing each other, and that's sinful. Luckily, my uncle was like, "No, that's ridiculous." But I'm pretty sure the intervention still happened without him.
You guys ever heard that rap song, Give Me That Christian Side Hug?
Yeah.
Give me that Christian side.
Yo, ho, give me that side hug. We gotta make room for Jesus.
I think there's a part where like this, like the beat kind of drops and this guy's like, Jesus never hugged nobody like that. It's so funny.
How about hugging back to back?
Ooh.
You just lock arms.
Well, then your butts are touching. That's gonna get you confused.
But it's not your genitals.
To back.
Ass to ass.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's one thing people didn't know about the Replacements. They were big proponents of the side hug.
Yeah, and ass to ass.
Yes.
Oh, so David, you had a question about I had that bin of clothes over there. Oh, Dan, I'm not sure if you've seen the bin of clothes yet. I had a little bin of clothes over here that I'm just shit I don't want anymore. But you had a question about one of those sweaters.
This sweater right here with the marinara sauce on it.
Yeah, marinara.
Now, why is there marinara on your sweater, Dylan?
Okay, so I don't remember any of that, but what I do remember is when I got that. Well, you asked me why I was getting rid of it. If it was because of the spaghetti sauce, I was like, no, that'll wash out. I never really wanted it so much in the first place. Is I had to get something because when I bought it, I was naked.
How did you buy this? You walked into a store.
I wasn't butt ass naked, but so this was back in college.
This is the Four Loko night.
Yeah, it's the Four Loko night. This is why I never drink a Four Loko. I never drink a Four Loko again after this night. It was Halloween, 2017, and it was a weeknight that year, and I'd gone out to a party. College party, and got really fucking wasted, and we were just like party hopping all around Ypsilanti. Right before like we started heading back to my friend's house who we were crashing at, we were at this last party. This dude hands me this full Four Loko, actually it was an uncracked Four Loko. He's like, hey man, I got this Four Loko I'm drinking right now, and I'm probably not going to get around to drinking this other one. Do you want it? I was like, fuck yeah. So I took it, and like right after I took it and started drinking it, my friends finally were like, hey, we're heading back. I'm like, all right, peace, brother. See ya. Thanks for the Four Loko, bro. And yeah, drank the entire thing in the like 5 blocks it took to get back to the house. So not a very far distance, just a few blocks, and down this fucking Four Loko.
1 Loko per block.
Yeah. and I was going one loco a block. That was my speed that night. And so I drank the entire thing. I laid down my friend's couch to pass out. As soon as I laid down, like I instantly, it was like, oh no, here it comes. And I threw up, and I like purposely just tried to throw up on myself and onto the floor to not get it on the couch as much as possible. So my shirt was just drenched in Four Loko and regurgitated Four Loko, and so was the floor. So I threw my shirt.
Drank that.
Yeah, so I drank it back up,
Get
slurped
that
it
alcohol
back
back
up.
in.
Yeah, slurped that back up. No, I went and I went outside, or I had to like cut my shirt to like keep all this Four Loko from spilling out of it. And I threw my shirt over the railing on the porch and cleaned up as much as I could. Went back to sleep. I had work the next morning, and I woke up an hour late for work. And
That's the best feeling in the world.
Waking up hungover, an hour late for work, and you're at a party in a college town a half hour away from your job, and I didn't have a shirt now. So luckily I had a jacket with me, so I zipped my jacket all the way up, went and bought that sweater, and wore that.
Yeah, I remember. I think you worked with my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Well, she's still my girlfriend, but you guys worked together at the time. And she was like, yeah, we have no idea what Dylan is.
Yeah.
Buying new clothes. I knew.
Yeah. I was out just doing a little shopping.
Yeah. You don't buy new clothes before work?
Yeah.
Slobs?
Yeah. You don't puke all over yourself.
Slobs?
Boy, I got marinara sauce in pretty much all my clothes.
Yeah, you didn't explain. How did you get marinara on the sweater? Who were you hanging out with to get this marinara on the sweater?
We don't talk about that.
Well, the way I get marinara on my clothes is I get a can.
Italians.
Some guy at a party was holding 2 cans of ragu and was like, "Hey man, I'm working on this can of ragu. I don't think I'm probably gonna get to this other one, so you can have it." I was like, "Hell yeah, dude!" So I'm walking back to my car, about 5 blocks away, drinking this can of marinara sauce. And lay down on my friend's couch. I'm like, oh no, here it comes. Vomit marinara sauce all over my shirt. I had work in the morning too.
Oh, that's the worst. Those marinara hangovers.
And I tried to take the shirt off the cool way, like the sexy way, where I like grab both, like cross my arms and grab the hem. And I pulled it off reverse, but what I didn't realize is I was gonna get marinara all over my face. So I got marinara all over my face. And I just went to work like that. It was kind of like your story, Dylan, but I didn't bother getting a new shirt.
Yeah. Shirtless and drenched in
Yeah,
marinara.
it looks like I had blood on my face.
Oh my God, what happened? Long night.
Long night. Just me and pasta sauce again.
Speaking
Just
of
me and Chef Boyardee, you know?
Yeah.
so speaking of the Amazon, you guys see Wonder Woman 1984?
No, I
did.
listened to a review of it though, and it sounds like a great movie.
Dane, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
I didn't. I couldn't make it through it. The first so I was watching it with my mom. She really wanted to watch it, so I came over. First time we tried watching it, she fell asleep about an hour or about 45 minutes in. Then I was like, okay, well, we're not getting through this tonight. So I came over again a couple nights later, and I fell asleep during it. And then after that, we just gave up. I was like, this movie's really boring. She's like, yeah, it is. Which is really weird for my mom because she still has like that like childlike mentality of movies where like every movie is good.
Well, I think that kind of comes for all adults, is that you eventually revert back to that stage.
Yeah.
Like there's probably a point where she was more discerning.
No.
No.
Never.
Maybe I'm giving my parents a lot of credit here too.
Yeah, no. Like for the last 20 years, her favorite movies have been like Hallmark movies.
My
Which is its own
Which is
genre.
fine.
Its own genre in and of itself. But
Dylan, what was going on with you that one night? You weren't there, were you, David? When me and Joe saw Cloud Nothings at El Club.
No.
This came up recently. Last time I saw Joe, he showed me a Twitter interaction
Oh,
that
yeah.
Dog Leg had with Cloud Nothings.
Yeah.
And I remember that night pretty well, that they finished playing and you walked in the club.
I walked in as soon as they finished playing. I think, no, I didn't work late. I was doing something. I was busy doing something else. I think I might have been at a different show, actually. I think I was just at a house show because I didn't have any money to get into that show. So I was, so then the house show ended, and I was like, you know what? Like, I bet by now they're probably not like even checking people's tickets at the door anymore if the show's already going on. So I was hoping to maybe catch like the last like few songs in the set. But I mean, it worked out perfectly, where they just got done playing, everybody was leaving. We got to take that big group picture with Dylan Baldy.
Yeah.
That was on my phone too. So and I remember I don't know how instrumental I was, but I feel like I was like I helped corral everybody together.
You were really pulling for the group photo, if I recall.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good picture.
It is
I wish I was there.
I saw it. I guess you weren't in the picture. I should have, because I just saw it again the other day. It is a good picture. It was very bizarre though, because
Photo time.
yeah, Dylan Paul. It was just like photo time.
I'm pretty sure I was also high as fuck.
That's the impression I got.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what was a cool show? Not because of the band playing at all, but just because of the time the time we had was when we saw Culture Abuse.
Oh yeah. They're canceled.
They're canceled.
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear about that, but they sucked that night.
Yeah. Well, so as you could probably tell by the stage antics, he's a terrible alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
I kind of stopped liking them after that. So I was like, that guy looks so annoying.
Yeah. So the time we saw Culture Abuse, it was the singer's
We had a great time in the patio.
Yeah, I had a great time smoking.
Yeah.
Chain smoking outside of the show. It was the singer's birthday, and he got so fucking wasted. He was like swinging the mic all around and kept hitting like the drum set.
Hitting everyone on stage in like a lasso motion.
Yeah, and the rest of the band was all visibly pissed off at him. And like, didn't he almost get into a fight with the drummer?
I think so. I think the drummer looked like he was gonna fight him, and then it's like, I'm just gonna get off stage.
Yeah,
it was towards the end.
Yeah, and just like cooled off for a second. Yeah, there wasn't that many people there, and like I remember them even being surprised as to how many people were at the show.
That's kind of why it was such a fun time. There was so many people out in the patio,
Yeah.
and there was like 5 bands playing inside, so there was no real reason to go inside.
Yeah. And now I'm glad. Well, actually, I don't even know, because the year before that, Fiddler played at Majestic, and I went to go see them, and that show was fucking awful. And Culture Abuse was playing the same night somewhere else in Detroit, and I was like, man, I wish I would have seen Culture Abuse. And I saw Culture Abuse the next time, like,
Would have been the same story.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
Between a rock and a hard place.
yeah, like, this also
your
sucks.
choice between 2 wasted alcoholic singers.
Yeah, which that show, Zach was like tripping on acid, I'm pretty sure, because his pupils were about the size of a fucking quarter. But at this show, it looked like he was tripping on acid, because like I saw him after the show, because I think this is when I was working at the Majestic, and like after the show, like I saw the band like standing by their bus, and like we had walked right past them, and like it wasn't a good set, but like I just gave him like the, hey man, good set. And he looked at me, he turned and looked at me, his fucking pupils were ginormous. Thanks, man. Holy fuck. Fucking
You just turned.
Goblin.
You just whipped around and hissed at you.
But no, like 3 songs in, they played one of their biggest songs, 40 ounce on repeat. I'd say that's one of their biggest songs at this point, right?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I don't really like Fiddler 2 that much, but that song.
Yeah, definitely the biggest single off their second album. That was the 3rd song that they played that night, and halfway through the first chorus, Zach threw his guitar down and walked off stage, and like the rest of the band was just really confused. They're like, what? And then the crowd kind of started singing the song, and then after a minute he came back out and was kind of just like, I think he got a new guitar and was just kind of like hugging the mic for a little bit and swaying with it, and then eventually by the time the last chorus came around started singing again. That was also a bizarre show.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
There's a bunch of douchebags there too, like a bunch of party bros
Yeah.
there.
That's what I assume most of their fans were like.
Yeah.
I'm not
kinda
like a Fiddler fan.
bothered when people were like, Fiddler 2 is so much better than Fiddler 1. That's just like not true.
No, I
Fiddler
mean it's got some jams on it, but like
Fiddler 1 is solid top to front to back.
yeah,
Yeah, my friend's old roommate.
it's a party rock anthem.
Yeah. Shots. Fiddler
guess,
should do a cover of that song.
I guess used to like go out, come home with a couple girls, go
Listen
in
to
his
Fiddler
room,
2?
and then all through the night just be blasting Cheap Beer by Fiddler on repeat. And who knows what he was doing.
Doing Amazon style.
Yeah, doing Amazon stuff.
Yeah, squatting on those girls' dicks.
Yeah.
to the beat of Cheap Beer by Fiddler.
Doing
Just like a loud slapping noise.
aggressively squatting to that song.
Aggressively squatting on dicks.
Yeah.
Let's switch focus to, or let's hone in focus on the topic of meeting band members after shows.
Oh, it's always a nightmare for me. I always embarrass myself. Like, well, when I meant, we mentioned in the last podcast, Ariel Pink, I was screaming at him the whole time.
Well, it was loud, to be fair. But, I mean, it was loud in there.
True. I wanted him to hear me scream his name.
That was great.
Like I was having sex with him.
How did that go?
What?
Tell us that story
What? Oh, yeah.
for the audience, for the listeners.
Well, I was at the merch booth. I don't know. I think I'd already bought stuff. I think I was just buying CDs.
I was there too, like right next to David, and like Ariel came out, I think to like ask whoever was running merch something,
and I screamed, "Ariel!
Ariel,
that was awesome!"
Well, then everyone was like, "Oh boy, he's here. Let's get him to sign shit." And so he already.
I was the sounding siren for that.
He already looks really stressed out, and so he sits down and he's like meeting everyone, and everyone's screaming at him.
I came back up to him 5 times with 5 separate questions.
It was he just seemed like kind of like awkward and unpleasant, which turned out to be accurate, I'd say.
Yeah, I just remember he also accused me of stealing, which was really funny. When I pulled out a CD that you had bought earlier to get signed.
Yeah, because I was holding onto your CD and I like put it in front of you. I think he thought that I was like shoving it in his face trying to get him to sign it.
Yeah.
But it was your CD.
And he didn't put XO. I saw he was putting Ariel Pink XO on everyone's shit, but mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was a very awkward moment on stage where like one of his bandmates who was wearing like the stupid water buffalo hat like the Flintstones wear.
Yeah, he looked dumb as fuck.
He looked stupid.
Wait, was that the guy from the Capitol riot?
No.
Was he in Ariel Pink's band all along?
Oh, no, that'd be dope.
Yeah, it was like that hat.
Oh, there is a funny instance that happened when Ariel went stage dive. Well, go ahead with your story.
Well, just that it was like between songs and that guy was like hit the mic to be like, "Hey, someone hooked me up with a beer, an IPA perhaps."
Oh, he was really annoying.
And no one knew like how to react. They're like, and Ariel was like, "Just take mine, take mine."
Oh yeah, he probably was really annoying. But Ariel Pink went crowd surfing at one point, and when he came back up, back facing the crowd, and his ass, like his pants had come down. His ass was.
You know what? I do remember that now. Yeah.
Is mooning the entire audience.
Gross. He's a gross man.
Sweat caked ass.
So I ever tell you guys about the time I met Jal Biafra?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. The first punk show I ever went to was Jal Biafra in the Guantanamo Bay School of Medicine. And Negative Approach opened, which they were fucking sweet.
Oh, nice.
It was Negative Approach, and then there's some other local band that I've never seen or heard from ever since. But during this first local band, like they like dressed in drag, and they had this whole like bit like shtick with that, and they had like a bunch of like body parts of a mannequin, like all done up with like mannequin heads done up with makeup and stuff. And they threw the mannequin head out into the crowd. There's a little fat, like chubby old guy standing in front of me in the crowd, and the mannequin head comes whipping past his head and whipping past mine. We both turn and look at it, or like watch it go past. I turn back. I'm like, oh shit, that's Joel Biafra standing right in front of me. And so I didn't bother him like while the opening band was playing.
Was he
like,
tweeting at the Dead Kennedys official Twitter?
Yeah, no, this is probably like 8 years ago. So I didn't bother him like during the set. I was like, oh, he's out here to see the band. Like I'm not gonna bother him, like draw attention to him.
He was standing where he knew all the fans would be.
Anyways,
what an idiot! He thought he was gonna be coy, sneaky.
So I wait for the set to be over. I'm like, hey, you're Joel Biafra. How's it going? He's like, good. How are you?
California.
Yes, I am.
He just says California.
California. Michigan. I'm like, sweet. He's like,
Minnesota.
He's like, well, enjoy the show. And he kind of talks like the Canadians in South Park a little bit. But yeah, that was just a very brief interaction. That show was fucking awesome. And most of that show's on YouTube. There's a guy on YouTube. I've seen him at a few shows, but he videotapes a lot of local shows and puts them all on his YouTube channel. And the first time I ever crowd surfed is caught on film on that. I think it was during Nazi Punks Fuck Off. That was a fun show. I also met the rest of the Dead Kennedys, apart from my Twitter interactions with them. I met D.H. Pellegrino? Yeah.
Pellegrino.
The drummer, I had a picture with him. Actually, I didn't meet East Bay Ray. I met Klaus, but I didn't meet East Bay. I met most of the Descendants, Carl Alvarez, Stefan Egerton. I never met Bill Stevenson, but I did email back and forth with him, and he showed me how to play an all song on guitar, which is really cool. I went on the Descendants like FAQ page on their website. I was like, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to play this one, like, it was a really obscure like B-side from their other band called All, and so like I submitted this to their FAQ, and Bill Stevenson emailed me back from his personal email account. He's like, hey, so this is how you play it, and like just took pictures. I was like, oh, sweet.
That's really cool.
I met Henry Rollins once. That was really fucking sweet. That was a dream. That was honestly a dream come true. Meeting Henry Rollins. I went to see him do a spoken word in Royal Oak, and I waited for like an hour and a half after the show. It was so late. There's no way in hell I wasn't gonna fucking meet Henry Rollins. And like there's like about 25 or so people out there. Then his tour manager comes out and he's like, hey guys, Henry's gonna be like a little while longer, so if you want to wait, you can still wait, but also he hasn't eaten dinner yet, so we're gonna make it really quick. He's not gonna, like, you can't talk to him very long. And so after that, a bunch of people left, and there's only about maybe 10 or so people left, and I made sure I was the last one in line, so I had the final word in with him so I could have him as long as I wanted. And got up to him. I just asked him, like, and like I could tell he was like really tired and hungry, but then
you could hear his stomach growling.
Yeah, he's a pretty little guy. I was surprised. Like I knew he wasn't like huge or anything, but he was pretty short, a lot shorter than I thought he'd be.
I mean, you're like 6'7", so
not as short as Danzig, but so I introduced myself, like make a little bit of small talk, and then I asked him, I'm like, where should I go? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, where should I travel to? And he's like, well, really, you should get over to Scandinavia. And like, he started going off about that. And like, once I started asking him about like travel, he just started going. I was like,
nice.
Weren't you hungry?
You unlocked Henry Rollins' secret travel guide.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of, yeah, I waited like 90 minutes to meet Father John Misty when I saw him at the same venue, I imagine. Nice guy.
We hung out with Sean Bonnet from AJJ a couple times, and I remember one of the later times was like a few weeks before they changed their name from Andrew Jackson Jihad to AJJ. You remember that? And they were telling us that he was telling us that they were going to change the name.
I was there.
I think so.
I hung out.
Maybe you weren't there. I think it was a Jeff Rosenstock acoustic show at Max Bar.
Yeah, okay, I do remember this now because he started talking about Haruki Murakami.
No, that was a different time.
That was okay. So
We've hung out with him twice.
Okay, so I'm
We
not even,
hung out with our friend Sean Bonnet twice.
I'm not really
I've hung
an
out with
AJ.
Sean Bonnet a few times.
You got a picture over there. I got to find my picture because I remember you got me one.
I smoked a joint with him and Ben once after a show in Ferndale.
Yeah. Well, I drank 4 Locos with him one time. So.
I drank pasta sauce with him one time.
I drank 2 4 Locos with him.
And I was telling him about my gigantism, and we were hanging out behind what was it, at the Loving Touch. We were hanging out for a little while. I went to that show by myself. I was like, I'll make friends, and I ended up making friends with more with Ben. I was talking to, but then as Sean and Ben were leaving, because I think they had to go to Canada next. Sean was getting in the van, and as he was closing the door, he said, "Goodbye, giant man."
That's funny.
And then I ran into him at Mopop a couple of years ago. I was wearing an HAJ shirt, and I was like, "Sean?" He's like, "Hey,
Sean!" Heavy rain.
He was like, "Hey, giant." I was like, "What are you doing here? You're not even HAJ is not even playing." He's like, "No, we're not." So what are you doing here? He's like, "Oh, I'm just kind of on the road with Jeff, just hanging out." Jeff Rosenstock was playing. I was like,
I thought maybe he lived in Michigan at the time.
No, this is a couple years after. I did go to his garage sale though.
Right, I remember that happening.
Me and Joe went. I got a Ghost Mice record, also canceled.
I don't know who Ghost Mice is. Well, I do know who they are, but why are they canceled?
Singers.
He killed all those mice.
Yeah, he killed all those mice. No, the singer's just a bad guy.
I was trying to recollect as far as like bands I've taken photos with. I'm not usually into that. Usually I'll talk to them, maybe have them sign something. The only 2 times I can think of is one at that Cloud Nothing show when we had the big group photo with Dylan Baldy.
And then
2 with David when we saw Anargo Vespucci.
Yeah, we took a picture of Chris Farron.
Chris Farron insisted
Originally just supposed to be you.
we all take a picture. Yeah.
But Chris Farron grabbed me by the arm.
Yeah.
That's how it was when I saw Chris Farron, me and Joe. I was taking a picture for Joe, and then he kind of got me in there too, and we just took a big selfie together.
Was that the Brian Fallon one?
Yeah.
Chris Farron's so cool.
That's the one I haven't gone to.
That one,
not go to.
Yeah, that was fine. I'm not that into Chris Farron's.
I'm not that into his music. I just think he's a cool guy.
Born Hot was really good.
Born Hot, yeah, I was listening to it the other day.
I liked Born Hot. I don't care for his other albums.
I should check that one out. I don't care about the Christmas album too much.
I've met Chris Farron enough times that he doesn't know my name, but he knows me as Jacket Guy because I always end up wearing the same jacket when I see him. And the one time he was like, "That's a lovely jacket." I'm like, "Hey, that's not the first time you said that." And he was like, "I know." I was like, "Oh, I thought maybe you didn't remember me, but okay."
I don't think any musicians ever remembered me.
What other?
It's hard to tell. Yeah, you don't want to expect them to remember you because it's like they meet so many people.
Yeah. Oh, I did meet Nathan Williams for Waves after the first time I saw Waves.
Oh, I did too.
Were you there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is pretty much like, I don't know, he's just a fucking dude, bro.
Yeah, he gave me a hug.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
He was pretty drunk, and I think we were smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a dude, bro. Who else have I met? Oh, I met Toby Keith at a Beach Boys concert once.
That's right. We talked about this.
Did I talk about this on the pod?
Yeah,
Okay. Toby Keith and Tom Cruise at the Beach Boys show in fucking Auburn Hills.
Tom and Toby.
I hate the fucking Masonic Temple. Remember we saw Brockhampton there?
Yeah.
That sucked. That was uncomfortable.
David, I was just thinking about your standing in line story, how you had to pee. So you went to
well, let me tell this story.
Okay, please.
How about it? Well, the people I went with wanted to get there as early as possible. I don't remember why exactly, because I'm pretty sure we had set seats, so it didn't really matter. I guess you get in there sooner than
maybe.
That line.
It was kind of cold.
Yeah, it was cold as hell.
parking,
But we got there like 8 hours before the show started, so we're just Well, I mean, it wasn't 8 hours. It felt like 8 hours, and it's just cold, sitting on concrete slabs of steps, and naturally, I have to pee, and they're not gonna let me in to go pee. I ran around the block looking for somewhere to pee, so I found a bar, and I'm like, they're not gonna let me use their bathroom. So I went in. I think I bought like a beer, downed it really quick.
Well, you told me that because it's a craft brewery bar.
Yeah.
You went in, you're like, I don't know, can I just have a shot of whiskey or something? The guy's like, we don't got liquor here, man. We got craft beer. He's like, what do you like? He's like, what do you like to drink? And you're like,
PBR.
PBR, I guess. He's like, I think I know the beer for you.
Yeah, so he gave me a beer, and I drank it, like pretty much just chugging it. Went to the bathroom and is left.
And then you probably had to pee again like 30 minutes.
Well, my hope was the beer would help me pee faster, but yeah, it probably just did store in my bladder. And then when we got in, it was so fucking stupid because like everyone charged the doors, like you guys seen the episode of The Simpsons where they're explaining what kind of disease Mr. Burns has, where he has all the disease, and they're like, see, it's kind of like the Three Stooges, like, let me in there.
Yeah.
Like everyone tried to fit in at once. It's like, calm the fuck down. Like the door fucking shook with the mic. Like all these people just cramming their bodies through this doorway.
It's terrible.
Storm the Masonic Temple.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest shows I've ever been to was at the Masonic Temple, but not in the main room, not in like the cathedral theater. It was in some tiny little like it was kind of like
the roller rink.
No, it was upstairs somewhere. It was like a little. It was kind of like a church style room, but it was very small. And it was to see Andrew WK on his speaking tour, which he was doing like all 50 states, doing like a speaking engagement, like no music or anything. But it was weird. There was like 30 people there, and then I like waited in line to meet him afterward. He was weird.
I saw Andrew WK open for Black Sabbath on the 13 tour.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was DJing.
Yeah, he just plugged his it wasn't even like a good DJ set. He just like plugged his like iPod Shuffle in and like blew up some beach balls and kind of like
played some metal music.
Yeah.
Like I think like Slayer, Pantera, Exodus.
Yeah. It was just his playlist.
Well, he told a weird story to me because I asked like he has this Gundam album where he did like covers of a bunch of Gundam music from the anime series. And I was like, I like that Gundam album you do. He's like, oh, well, thank you for knowing about that. Yeah, I was walking down the street in Japan one day, and the creator of Gundam pulled up in a limousine and saw me and beckoned me into the car. I got in, and he asked me to do a covers album. So I did.
I don't believe a single fucking bit of that.
I was like, okay.
Beckon me into the car.
And then he took a picture with my brother. He was very nice, but yeah, he seems like he's really just doing a character most of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole with Andrew WK. Like most recently, I saw like he's friends with Gavin McInnes or something. And then there's like the conspiracy that he's not even the original Andrew WK. That the Andrew WK from like the early 2000s and like the I Get Wet album is a different guy completely. And so it's someone different playing the character.
All I care about Andrew WK is destroy, build, destroy. That show was fucking sweet.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Oh, I did.
I approved of it spiritually because of Andrew WK.
I didn't approve of it at all. I actually thought it was obnoxious personally. But that's
Dude,
because I
the
was...
show's fucking called Destroy, Build. You blow something up, you build something with the wreckage, and then you destroy the other person's creation.
I was a moody 14-year-old at the time.
I was probably a fucking 10-year-old that just wanted to destroy, build, and destroy. That's your whole life as like a preteen, like between like 10 and like 12. All you want to do is break shit.
I mean, I like doing that.
All I want to do is watch the world burn. We live in a society.
That was definitely my Joker phase.
Yeah.
I had something else to say about concerts.
I've met Jeff Rosenstock. I think we all have met Jeff Rosenstock a handful of times.
I feel like I come off as awkward.
I've actually never like spoken to him.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a couple times.
He's been really nice every time. There was one time where I think he was kind of overwhelmed, but not his fault. He
signed my copy of Worry.
Fisting a bottle of wine the last time I talked to him. That was pretty cool.
I met John.
Dominici. No, I met John before. He was a very nice guy. We talked about veganism.
And you gotta keep that in there. It's a new bit of. It's my hog sound.
I was. How do we not have a musical intro yet? Dylan, you play bass. Yeah, record a sweet bass solo for the intro.
And I'll sing all falsetto vocals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, guys, my computer's about to die, so I think we need to wrap up the episode now.
Yep, save it real quick. Over and out. Bye.